Hi, in this video we are going to discuss the hub and spoke IPsec communication. In hub and spoke, in the previous topic or the previous video, we discussed the point-to-point or site-to-site VPN where there were only two sites or two gateways which are communicating with each other. However, in certain situations, there could be a requirement that we have a headquarter which is communicating with multiple branch offices, or multiple branch offices are communicating with the headquarter. In this case, generally what happens is that the headquarter has a fixed IP address. However, the addresses of the branches are not fixed. Since we do not know the addresses of the branches, this makes the situation a little bit more complicated. So in this case, we can implement the hub and spoke scenario, which means that we have a hub site and all the branches are acting as the spoke site. This is a typical scenario in this which you can see that there is a headquarter, there is a firewall at the headquarter, and then we have two branch offices where two firewalls are placed, and these two branches using these firewalls can have a VPN tunnel or IPsec tunnel established with the headquarter, and they can securely exchange data or securely exchange traffic with the headquarter. In this particular scenario, or in this particular case, the parameters or the requirements of how we are going to do this, the steps are as follows. You can see the different steps. We are going to configure the basic firewall configuration, then we are going to configure IPsec. We are going to select site to multi-site scenario, then we are going to configure the local peer information because the remote peer is not going to be fixed on the headquarter site, and then we configure the entrusted traffic, and then we configure the security proposals for IKE and for IPsec. So first of all, we need to configure the IPsec policy, and as you can see in the previous implementation, we selected site to site, but now we are going to select site to multi-site, which means that this is a hub and spoke scenario. In this case, we are saying, since this is the headquarter, we are saying that the peer type is branch gateway, or we can say the spoke site. The policy name, the interface, the local IP address, and the local ID is the IP address, and the peer ID can be any type. If we know the IP address of the peer, it is fine. Otherwise, even if we don't know the IP address, since we are giving any type, this means that there is no issue. It can still authenticate or do an identity authentication of the peer it can use the name as well. So authentication type is pre-shared key, and this is the pre-shared key value, and this key needs to be identical on both sides. Then we configure the interesting traffic. On the hub site, we know that the network on the hub site is, or on the headquarter, is 10.1.1.0, and these are the networks on the two branch sites. So this is the traffic. Whenever traffic is moving from the head site, from the headquarters towards the remote sites, this is going to be the IP addresses which are going to be on the remote site. And this is the configuration on the headquarter. The configuration on the remote sites is going to be exactly the same as was the case in the site-to-site VPN. On the remote site or on the branch sites, the same configuration is going to be implemented, which we implemented in the previous implementation of site-to-site VPN. So this is how we configure the hub and spoke configuration. Now let's move forward and look at L2TP over IPsec implementation. L2TP stands for Layer 2 Tunneling Protocol. Layer 2 Tunneling Protocol is generally used for remote workers or for mobile workers, where they have to connect to the headquarters generally using a dial-up connection. Traditionally using a dial-up connection where we needed to have a Layer 2 connectivity between the mobile worker and the headquarter using a dial-up connection. However, the problem with L2TP is that L2TP only provides us, or Layer 2 Tunneling Protocol only provides us with authentication functionality. It does not provide us with encryption functionality. So if we want to add encryption on top of the authentication provided by L2TP, we need to use IPsec. So if we use IPsec in combination with L2TP, L2TP will provide the authentication functionality which it already provides, and IPsec will provide the encryption functionality and so that the traffic that is being exchanged between the mobile worker and the headquarters, it is encrypted and it remains secure during transmission between the two locations. So this is a typical scenario where this is our headquarters and this is the firewall located at the headquarters. The mobile worker using his laptop or any other device is connecting to the headquarters using any L2TP dial-up connection using L2TP, and since we want to make this communication secure, therefore we are using IPsec or creating an IPsec tunnel which can provide us with encryption functionality. As you can see, we need to understand these two terms. LAC stands for L2TP access concentrator and LNS stands for L2TP network server. In this particular scenario, they might mean different things in traditional L2TP implementation, but here for your convenience and for simplicity's sake, let's assume that the user or the laptop which the user, for example, is using, we call that a LAC, and the firewall here is the LNS. So this communication needs to be secured between these two devices, and in order to do that, we need to follow the following steps, or we need to follow these steps. As you can see, first of all, we do the basic firewall configuration, then we configure L2TP, we configure the LAC client software, we configure the virtual interface template for the LNS, L2TP network server, which is our firewall. We configure the user address pool. The IP address is going to be assigned from this pool to the remote user, to the mobile user. And then we configure the LNS side of the L2TP connection, which means we do the configuration on the firewall. This is all related to the L2TP configuration on the client as well as on the firewall. Then we have to, on top of this L2TP configuration, we have to do the IPsec configuration so that the communication can be made secure, and the encryption functionality can also be added on top of the L2TP authentication functionality. So let's take a look at the configuration. First of all, the implementation type is site to multi-site because multiple mobile users can connect to the firewall. The peer type in this case is going to be L2TP over IPsec client. This is the client which is going to be connecting to the firewall, so we select this. Then we define the pool range. Any user which is going to connect to the firewall using L2TP, it is going to be assigned an IP address from this pool, which means that it is going to be assigned an IP address from the pool of the headquarter network. 10.1.1.2 up till 10.1.1.100, these are the IP addresses which we are going to provide to the mobile users. So all this is all related to L2TP configuration. Then the traffic that is going to be interesting traffic, or the traffic which we are going to encrypt, this is just like configuring an access list. We define the flows, or we define that traffic. We say that that traffic is going to be UDP and the port is going to be 1701. L2TP is based on UDP and the port number it uses in UDP is 1701. So basically what we are doing here is we are configuring the firewall, or we are telling the firewall that any L2TP traffic, which means traffic using UDP as the transport layer protocol and using the port number 1701 of UDP, you have to provide security, or you have to encrypt that traffic. So here we are encrypting L2TP traffic using IPsec. Not IPsec here, we are just defining that this traffic is going to be interesting traffic and this traffic needs to be encrypted. Then on the client side, this is the client software, or the mobile client software which we are using, Seco client, which we are using on the client side. This is going to be installed on the client PC. We are going to configure L2TP over IPsec. So first we configure the L2TP configuration and then we do the IPsec configuration. In the L2TP configuration, we have to define the connection. Whatever connection we want to define, we have to name it. This is the IP address of the firewall. Then we name the tunnel, and this is the L2TP authentication mode, whether we want to use CHAP for authentication. So this depends on what authentication mode we want to use on the L2TP side. And then we configure the IPsec on the client side. So we are enabling IPsec so that the traffic can be encrypted. We are using a pre-shared key, and this pre-shared key is going to be the same on both sides. The mode is going to be the main mode. We are not using the aggressive mode, and plus all the other encryption and authentication protocols which we are going to use. And here you can see, since it's a laptop, it's going to be a PC, we are using AES 192 instead of AES 256, so that the load that we have on the laptop is, or on the machine, end user machine is not as much, because a firewall or a router can handle much more load as compared to an individual laptop. So this is the configuration on the client side. The remaining configuration on the firewall side is what we have already seen. The way we configure ordinary IKE proposal and the IPsec proposal, it's exactly the same. So this is how we configure L2TP over IPsec. And if we want to verify it on the firewall, we can monitor either the L2TP or we can monitor the IPsec. We'll be able to see the L2TP connection established between the two devices, the laptop and the firewall, and we will also see the IPsec security association developed between the two devices, between the firewall and the remote laptop client. So this is how we implement L2TP over IPsec.